Dimitri, do you have anything to contribute? Do you have some thoughts? Hello readers, I'm Amy. This here's Dimitri. Is it just me or is this looking like super fuzzy? I think it just wants to focus on my cat. Which is fine, because you know, he's adorable. There we go. And we got it all worked out, don't we? He is going to be cute this entire video. So I don't know how much I'm gonna get done, but we'll see. So anyways, a little bit of warm and fuzzy cat content for you all. My uploading has not been very regular. I did establish, I think a couple of videos ago, that as a mood reader, I'm finding that I'm also kind of a mood filmer, so that is what it is. And I've mentioned here and there, I am going through it with my mental health lately. So that's probably one of the reasons that this video is going to exist. We're just dealing with a lot of stuff, and we all deal with these things in different ways, and my way of dealing with things is probably what leads us to our video today. So if you recall, I did a book haul like 2 videos ago, maybe, or maybe it was my last one. I don't know, I need to double check. But I bought some more books since that book haul. This should be the last one of the season. I shouldn't... Goodbye, my fluffy friend. I shouldn't have any other books coming in this year. This should kind of be it. So we'll see how that goes. But he's still here and he's rubbing up against my books. He likes to scratch his head on the corner of books and other sharp, pointy things that are good for scritches. So the 5 stages of grief. That's kind of what we're working through right now. You've got denial, which I don't know that I really dealt with it very much. Anger. I had a lot of anger. I'm still a little bit angry. I've mostly moved past that, but I've had quite a bit of anger. I get that one. But after anger, we have the bargaining stage. And I have a question. I don't totally understand the bargaining stage, but is this the bargaining stage? Like, if I buy enough books, if I give myself a to-do list, if I keep myself occupied, will things turn out better? Maybe this box of books is what the bargaining stage of grief looks like. Yeah, and then we just have depression, which that's going to be fun, and acceptance, which I think I am steadily working towards, but we'll see. Anyways, let's talk about super happy things with my Dimitri, like this amazing pile of books. I'm going to start by mentioning The Haunting of Ashburn House. Buddy. I was watching Leanne from Literary Diversions, also the novel Menagerie, I believe is her Etsy account, and she mentioned The Haunting of Ashburn House, and it seemed really good, and I'm trying to find what does and doesn't work for me with haunted house books, and I finished this probably about a week ago, and I absolutely loved it. And it was gruesome and terrifying and horrible, and I loved it. I think what I'm finding with haunted houses is that if it's a film, it has to be a psychological haunted house, because the physical, like, bodies in the corners haunted houses are way too much for me. But with books, it has to be a physically haunted house, because if it's psychological or like a manifestation of your psyche sort of thing, it just ends up getting really boring. I'm sorry, I don't like Shirley Jackson. I was so bored with her haunted house books. But I like that I'm finally finding my sweet spot with haunted houses, because like I said, I absolutely loved this. Alright, we're moving you up here again so you can stop rubbing on the camera. That's his good spot, because he can't scratch his left side. He's missing his scratching foot for his left side, isn't he? Isn't he? Yeah, good boy. Okay, current read is also a Darcy Coates book, because I bought 4? That sounds about right. No, wait, 5. I bought 5 more Darcy Coates books because I enjoyed that one so much. Leanne from Literary Diversions, this is her call out. She needs to take responsibility for what she's done to me because this is awful. I have a problem. I admit it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to see a financial advisor. I'm going to work on my mental health and spending things to make everything better, which clearly isn't going to work for me in the long term. Gallows Hill is my current read. This is very similar to The Haunting of Ashburn House. It has a similar setup where you've got this adult, parents have passed on, doesn't really have a support system at this point, moves into a large, creepy house in a small town, but it's working for me. This one, the family for generations has owned a winery, and on this hill there were many people who were hung, and the tree that the people were hung from was made into wine barrels, and there's like 6 casks of wine in these wine barrels, and a bottle of wine from these barrels runs about 6 figures. So that's interesting. I'm learning a little bit about the winemaking process in this, but I'm excited to see where this goes. This one is going a little more slowly for me. I don't know if that's because I'm not hooked or if it's because I've had a really long weekend. It's probably that, because I know this book is interesting. Sometimes I can read 100 pages in a day, and sometimes I stare at the wall, you know? It's mental health. What are you going to do? 4 more books that I picked up from her. I have The Haunting of Blackwood House, which I believe this one, this is The Daughter of Spiritualists. I have The Haunting of Gillespie House, which is over an hour from the nearest town, so that's going to be like Cabin in the Woods, which I think I am very much up for. Craven Manor, something about an ancient estate and an old family crypt, and then we have The Haunting of Rookwood House, finds a deed to a house in the mother's attic. So they're all kind of similar, but because the first one worked for me, I think all these others are going to work for me. So if you have some haunted house recommendations, pop those down below. Also, Leanne from Literary Diversions, calling you out again, because this one is also your fault. She did a video recently, mentioned this book, and in this book we have a person who decorates her house with finds, like from thrifting and antiquing and stuff, and because of her antiquing ends up building her own haunted house. So I am so stoked to try this out. One of my friends actually has a copy of this, so we're gonna do a buddy read for it. But yeah, you're okay. I wasn't sure if you was gonna try and escape through the pile of books. You twisting your head around? He's so cute. Yes, so very, very excited for this. Then, there's been this interesting mood lately, which I want to do a video. What? I want to do a video on it, but I believe it was Hillary from Melted Books in her recent video had talked about like reading for the weather, which I very much think I'm into, because read Ashburn House in October. It's currently Halloween when I'm filming this, and I'm reading another haunted house book, and I just picked up all of these haunted house books, but I can also, like, winter is coming. Not that that was my TV show. Wasn't super into it, but winter is on its way. We're well into fall, so it is spooky season, but we're also crawling on into cozy season, and my brain can't really decide. Do I want creepy, spooky books, or do I want a warm and cozy classic? So that's what this book haul is. I've been talking about the creepy books, and now it's time for the classics. I went to the Country Bookshelf in Bozeman, one of the best bookshops in Montana, and I picked up a bunch of Jane Austen. I have a complete collection of Jane Austen in a single book, but I'm finding I would much rather read them with each book having its own copy. So here we have Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility and Northanger Abbey. I'm grouping them like this because they have slightly different spines. And Emma. I already have Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sandition. That's all in one copy, but those are much shorter, so that's fine. And then also, apparently she wrote The Beautiful Cassandra, which I've never heard of, so that'll be interesting. And with Jane Austen, I've read 3 of her books. Emma is my absolute top favorite. Pride and Prejudice I really enjoyed. It's the one that I reread the most. And Northanger Abbey, which wasn't my favorite, but it was fine for what it was. So I think I'm really going to dive into Jane Austen this winter. It feels like that sort of time. Then online I ordered Mansfield Park, which I don't think I actually know anything about it. And then I have particular editions of Daphne du Maurier that I purchased for my shelves. One of these is a slightly different edition, which should be fine because I haven't heard of some of these. But Daphne du Maurier will be a really, maybe she's who I should read next, Daphne du Maurier, because she's got that mix between creepy and classic. So I picked up a bunch of books from her that I have never heard of. I've got Mary Ann by Daphne du Maurier, The Parasites, House on the Strand I've heard of, Glass Blowers I've also heard of. Bye, buddy. Hungry Hill. This is the one that doesn't match my other editions. It's kind of frustrating whenever that happens, like you purchase a book that you think is one edition, it ends up another, but no big deal. Hungry Hill, never heard of it, so that'll be interesting. Breaking Point, I've heard of, and The Loving Spirit, I have also heard of. So, yeah, is that everything? Oh, that's not everything. I have 2 more. Okay, so I have the first 3 books from Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic series already, and I was waiting on the 4th one until it came out in paperback, so I did finally pick up the last book in the Practical Magic series. Super excited for that. That would also be a great one for this time, because I think it'll be a nice mix of, like, spooky season and cozy season. And then this is one that I've been seeing on the different like horror Instagrams and stuff. This was another Country Bookshelf purchase. Both of these were from the Country Bookshelf here in, well, not here, but in Bozeman, Montana. Mother Thing, which is about a mother-in-law who's like also a monster. And yeah, family and creepiness, and I'm excited for this. This one, even just the cover, like, it's very, what am I thinking? Like, almost noir style, and then you've got that, like, 1940s, 1950s perfect dinner advertisement sort of picture. I love the font on this. I'm a big font nerd. I'm looking forward to this. I've read so many things. Go ahead and comment down below. What are you most excited to see me read? Because I'm not really doing wrap-ups at this point because I've read too much in the last couple of months to really wrap it up. I'm not filming as regularly, so it's hard to wrap things up. But just let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll see about making a video on it. Let's see if I can make this pile happen. It's always fun to see people lift up their books. Hey, I did it. I have a problem, clearly. Please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media. I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.